Hey, what's your bus and welcome back to my channel. As you can see over here, today we are doing some selective breeding and we are going to select out some of the PBL or the pure black line. And the reason for this video being so dark is that for PBL, one of the biggest tips I could share is actually to turn off the lights while selecting. And the reason is because we can actually see from the ambient light what is truly white. Like for example, in this case, this is slightly whiter than this over here. And in terms of patterns, if let's say we are going for a flower head and a mozura patterns, I think these will be the ones that will be selected out in this case. So the biggest tips I have mentioned is to turn off the light so that you can actually see how white the whites are, and then you can after that then turn on the lights after you have selected them. Like for example, what I'll do is that I will, like for example, I'll just pick this and then I'll put it in the, oops, so it went back. So I'm just going to select this. It's not the easiest sometimes when it's dark, and I'm just going to move this and I'm going to put it here. I'm going to show you guys later. So over here again, you can actually see what we are trying to do is to really select out the ones that are truly white. It is not all the streams are truly white. I would probably say that out of this entire group, maybe 5 or maybe 4, 5 or 4, which will then be cuts. It meets the standard. So this has a little bit of, you can actually see that this is white, but however over here at the body, it has that blackish tone that is not what we desire. Then over here you can actually see that from a pattern and color perspective, this is truly white. It's really white, but however it has that little dot right at the tail end, which is not going to be really well. However, we have to pick them because if not, we have nothing left to pick. And that's also one of the reasons why sometimes when we do selective breeding, we pick up the best, and then when we breed them out, we will then again select the ones that we desire. So in terms of selective breeding and selecting the streams, different streams will have a different method of selecting. So I think for PBL and PRL, one of the things that we actually look at is color. So the white has to be really white, and then the black will have to be really black. So from this perspective, you can actually see that to actually look at the black on it, we will then have to actually turn on the lights. However, well, we can't keep turning on and off the light just to see. So what we do is that we will then first start off with the white, and then from there, like if we select like 5, and then we will then turn on the lights and then see how the blacks on those whites will look like. And if they meet the mark, then we will put them in to the next tank. So I will randomly pick some so that we can actually see some of the differences. They are now in a small little container cup on the top left of the tank. However, I will not be able to see at this point of time, so bear with me in terms of looking at the dark streams over here. You cannot really tell what you can actually see. This one is actually on the side. It's actually fairly good, so it's going to come here. So in terms of the white and the patterns, we're going to go for the flower head kind of like a patterns, and we can then just select this for the time being. And how many do we have? We have now 5. We have 5 that is fairly decent, and we have I think a couple more over here that is also fairly decent. So we're gonna just go ahead and net them out, and then we can all together get them selected. I think this one is fairly okay, but not going to be best, but that will be a good example for everybody to actually take a look at. So as we continue to select, we can actually see that there are some very nice ones. So what you actually want to look at is, the luminous of the white with the reflection of the ambient light. So that will actually help to select out the ones you want. However, this first selection will always be the first cut of it, and then we will then do the second cut. So now we are done. I'm just going to shift this over, and I'm going to turn on the light and pan this camera upwards so that you guys can actually see what I'm talking about. So this will then now, we have moved them to a breeder box, and now you can actually see the colors. It's not as good because the light is shining over here. So in terms of the white, it is still white. It's actually, from the video, it actually probably look more yellowish than white is, but in real life it's actually white. So over here, what we are going to do is that we're going to look at the blacks, so we can actually see from very clear distinction. The first one over here is, just going to pen this, and you're going to see that this one over here is not, the black is slightly faded. It could due to be stress. However, we still do not maybe want to remove it from the selection. It's always good to have a smaller net that you don't have to hit it. So a smaller net will actually help with selection. And over here, all you want to see is that this pattern is not what we wanted. So this is not the pattern that we wanted, and the colors is a little bit stressed color. So we're gonna move it back to the tank. And this one is slightly faded, as you can see that the black is not, the pigmentation on the color, the pigmentation is not as intense, but the patterns are fine. It's just that it's not as good as it is. And this one over here, you can actually see that the body is a little bit, the coloration is a little bit fade off. This is fine, so we're gonna leave this here. I'm just gonna remove maybe this one over here, the one that we didn't quite see the colors on the mozzarella patterns. So sometimes you have to really keep an eye. Like for example, this one, you want to make sure that it's the one that, yep, this is not the one, because you can see that the body on the side profile is not as desired. So we're just gonna remove this. And now we are down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we are down to 5, and there's this one over here is also not as not desired, because there's this spot at the back of the there's a spot behind the body. Over here you can actually see that there's a spot. So this we will also remove from the selection criteria. So we're gonna remove it, and now we are down to really 4 of them, and these 4 will probably be selected, and we will have to continue to watch and see if there are other streams or other other ones that will meet the mark. It is not as simple, and that's the reason why we generally do selective breeding, and then from there you do yet another selective breeding. So these are the ones that will meet the mark. These will be the ones that will meet the mark, and these are the ones that will go into their own tank. So how will it look like when they go into their own tank? Now they are in their own tank, still inside the breeder box. Most likely they will be showing some kind of stress, and I will just remove them from the tank, from the breeder box, and then in they go. Oh, there is one that is not willing to get out of the tank, the breeder box, so just leave it for a while, and then let's see. So every one of them went into cover, and yeah, so this is how we do our selection. It is fairly simple, and I hope you guys have enjoyed and learned something from this video. So thank you guys for watching this video, and until next time, peace out.